Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. We have a loaded slate for you. Can I touch some college basketball? Because we have a big bracket show coming on Sunday. Make sure you check into that. That'll be awesome right here on the YouTube channel. We have NFL popping off, NBA, World Baseball Classic, and much more. Make sure you tune in because it starts right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bocce Boys podcast. We have a huge show for you today. Davis, we currently have a Tennessee Vanderbilt game on right now that we'll update live, not going in a good direction. But let's start with some NFL. We have a lot of college football discussed in the coming days, so we'll save a little sliver for you guys. But to start, NFL free agency happened this week, Davis. A lot to talk about, to be honest. Let's start with the biggest news of the week by far. Max Crosby deal was called off by the Baltimore Ravens. When that tweet hit my phone, I was like, what is this? What? Why?
It seems like a joke.
Adam Schefter must have, as a joke was on the plane, just like, oh, look at this. Should I hit send?
Yep.
But it was real because Rappaport followed up. It then comes out, 30 seconds later from, I think, Rossini, that he failed a medical. And I texted in our fantasy group chat, Davis, which you're in, and I was like, what the hell must be a failed medical? And you're like, no, it can't be. And it turns out Crosby took a private jet there and did not fail a physical. We can go into all this stuff and talk about it, but was he ever going to pass a physical? Like he just got his meniscus repaired in December, maybe a little earlier, but I don't know how he would ever past that. It doesn't seem like the Ravens really had any problems with it structurally, at least that they said. The only thing that came out was the Raiders said in a statement, the Ravens have, rescinded the trade and we have no further comment. And there really hasn't been much since other than he failed that physical, Davis. But my God, the Ravens then turned around the next day and signed Trey Hendrickson. And allegedly they were trying to pair him and Max Crosby. I think someone told the GM, what if we kept our 2 first-round picks and got Trey Hendrickson? I think that's kind of more of the story. But what was your feeling on this? Because that was insane.
Yeah, that was my conspiracy theory. That's my Watergate. That the Ravens had Trey Hendrickson ready to sign. Yeah. And again, in the back of their minds, they're like, oh, we don't have to give up 2 firsts for this guy, and he wants to come here.
Yep.
Oh, wait, Max Crosby, sorry, your knee is just not quite up to standard. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows in the background what happens? But it was just almost too convenient that Trey Hendrickson
100%.
Just first thing next morning signs with them on a 4-year deal.
Yeah, that was really weird. And the sleeper story in this, Davis, is how lucky the Raiders are, because thank God they had over $100 million in cap space, because the day before the Crosby trade was rescinded, they spent a shit ton of money. They probably spent, I think, $50 or $60 million on free agents. They run into Kobe Dean, Quay Walker, Kwity Paye, a couple other guys I'm not thinking about, but Tyler Linderbaum, the Ravens center, they had quite the haul, and people were like, oh, this is impressive. And they thankfully are able to add Max Crosby to that haul. Thank God it worked out, because I don't know if any other team had done that and then a player like Crosby comes back on your books. My God, that would suck. That would really suck, because you got to be
would have been a huge problem.
We can't actually do that deal that we agreed to.
Yep. And there are teams in the background like the Cowboys who were possibly second, and the Birds, but the Cowboys were specifically second in the running.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't give up 2 firsts pretty much. They were only giving up a first and a second.
Yeah.
Then they go out and spend money. And once this Crosby trade gets rescinded, then they don't have the money to spend on Crosby's contract. So it was a whole kerfuffle, but it's going to work out, I think, because honestly, Ethan, not that I think they're going to do anything crazy, but the Raiders,
I know,
they look like they might have a future. It's
I know.
Crazy.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself. That we got to see what they do in the draft. I think everybody knows they're going to take Mendoza first, but we'll see what the Raiders are looking like come September, because I agree. I think they could be very good in the next 2 years, let's say, because the division is going to be really tough next year. I mean, they're having a first-time coach. Not that I don't think Kubiak could be good. It's just, you never know what you're going to get with that. But wild story. Everyone was saying, like, I wonder what the price is now for Crosby. Where's he going to go? And he put out an awesome tweet and an excellent use of an Undertaker gif kicking down the coffin door. He's like, I'm back. And it was the day he celebrated, I think, 6 years of sobriety.
Yeah, so I saw that.
I would assume that maybe in his mind, he was like, this is fate. So I like it. If Max Crosby can compete on this Raiders team, like I said last week, the Raiders are an awesome team to win with. So that would be pretty cool.
And is it crazy to say that the Raiders, or should I say Max Crosby, is actually underrated in this league just because he's been on a terrible Raiders team for the past 5 years, pretty much? Like, Max Crosby is potentially the best defensive end in the league, and not that it gets overlooked. I think it gets a little overshadowed by the fact that he's not on a dominant team. Like, if he was on the Chiefs for the past 5 years, he would be by far the best defensive end in the league just because of how much he gets talked about.
And you saw it because he would sometimes beat the Chiefs like himself. And you're like, oh, this guy's actually a stud. So crazy story this week. It seems like he's staying with the Raiders. Huge news. And actually, Dave, something just came across my desk. The Eagles are not trading A.J. Brown. They are not looking to move him at this time after serious consideration with the Rams and Patriots, per The Athletic. This is all coming from Diana Rossini, who must have had some vendetta against A.J. Brown, because she is the only person I've seen on this. Not that I want to discredit her, but like usually Schefter or Garofalo or Pelissaro will say something. Haven't heard anything. It looked like they were maybe making a move. But the big, side piece with that is apparently Goddard had a deadline on today on his contract to see if they're going to bring him back on some weird like non-tender. I don't understand what it is, but they could bring back Goddard now because of this. So I think this is good, right?
Yeah, no, I think this is good too. And last week I had actually pitched the idea of trading A.J. Brown for Max Crosby.
You did. And my cousin actually called me right after and said that too. So you were not the only person thinking that.
Interesting. Okay. That's interesting. Because honestly, I hadn't heard anybody else talk about that. Of course, Max Crosby gets traded probably about 30 minutes after the podcast.
I forgot about uploaded. That. Yep.
Which is
that was really quick.
Well, there goes all of our clips for that.
Yep.
But anyway, I think A.J. Brown staying is great news. Like, obviously. And he, like we talked about last week, he's a little bit of a diva. He wants the ball, but I think that last year's issue was not a Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown issue. It was more of a play calling issue and where he was lining up and the routes that he was running. He was basically Michael Thomas's slant boy. He was becoming a hitch guy. Like, all he was doing was hitches. And Kevin Patullo loves the hitch. And so now that he's out of town, we ran him out of town.
We sure did.
A.J. Brown, I think, is going to go back to being an all-pro, top 7 wide receiver in the league.
Yeah, and he's not dumb. I think he knows that. I don't blame him for wanting to look elsewhere possibly and go to, like, let's say the Patriots and get 10 catches, 180 yards a game and as many targets. But good for him. And I do want to highlight again, in the report, it says at this time, I would not be surprised if something happened around the draft or in the summer if AJ puts out a tweet that's like, I'm done. So for now, I think we're okay. But again, it says not over. Let's swing around the league a little bit. You mentioned Kevin Patullo. He's actually with the Dolphins now. And the Dolphins, part of the new QB program is they released Tua Tagovailoa, and he now signed with the Falcons. So the Falcons have an all lefty quarterback room, which I kind of like, actually.
It's interesting. I don't know.
It is very interesting.
Very much. But
and then the Dolphins turned around and signed Malik Willis, which I actually like a lot. A really good shot on a player who's looked great in his sporadic starts. Obviously, he hasn't really had a good, consistent start path since the Titans, and even then that was bad. So I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. Some interesting moves going on with them as well. And they released Tyreek Hill. They traded Minkah Fitzpatrick. So very curious to see what the Dolphins are going to do, because clearly they know what they're going to do. They have a plan in mind, and they're going to follow that, which I respect.
Absolutely. And bringing in Jeff Hafley, and they're basically the Green Bay of the South now.
The Green Bay Dolphins,
the Green Bay Dolphins. That's what they want to do, and obviously they continued that trend by bringing in Malik Willis. I agree. I think the Dolphins actually could be sneaky, as in over the next couple of years. Rebuild the next few years. Like, curious to see how they can do, but I think that the change was needed. I mean, we all know Tua's issues. Off the field, on the field, like off the field, like medically, and on the field, Tua turning the ball over or whatever you want to call him, but he's having some issues. And I think that having Tyreek Hill there definitely helped him out. But without Tyreek Hill, he was not really even a top 25 quarterback in the league, probably. So it'll be interesting with him on the Falcons.
I think it could work out. It could work out. He's had his moments. Yeah. He's looked good. We'll see.
I'm not a Penix person. He just hasn't shown it yet. Like he doesn't get Drake London the ball when he's in the game. Like Kirk Cousins was just doing what he needed to do and getting the Falcons to a 500 record. Like Penix just wasn't really helping with that. But the one thing I saw this week is that Tua versus Penix, like spread wise of a game, Tua is worth one more point.
Interesting.
Penix, which I'm like, that's really interesting. Like
I see that a little bit, and having an all lefty quarterback room allows you to not really change up your scheme too much. I know it's silly, but everything's going to go to the left. I like Stefanski for that. So, speaking of another good coach, Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings signed Kyler Murray yesterday, I believe. He was officially released, and he signed Davis for the veteran minimum, which is a pretty cool deal for the Vikings. They can pay. You can say whatever you want about Kyler Murray, but he's worth more than the veteran minimum, in my opinion. Yes. Because the Cardinals are paying him $38 million this year, he's like, sure, I'll take an extra $1 million. Why not?
It's basically the Nick Castellanos deal that Kyler Murray just took. But I mean, honestly, I think this is the smartest possible move for him because
100%.
Look at the backup
and the Vikings,
even and the Vikings. Agreed, because it's what a tough division. I mean, the NFC North is an absolute gauntlet.
Oh yeah,
it was last year, and it's going to be for years.
Only worse. Yep,
only worse. But Kevin O'Connell, we've seen these backup quarterbacks, not even backup, just quarterbacks come through. Sam Darnold, Super Bowl MVP now. Daniel Jones signed there after he got released by the Giants.
Yep.
And now Daniel Jones is the highest AAV paid quarterback in the league, $50 million.
Who would have
thought? Good for them. And obviously they, JJ McCarthy, we just haven't seen yet his full potential. But I'm not a huge JJ guy. But
I'm not either.
He has potential in this league to at least be a quarterback and not be in the league.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how Kyler maneuvers around that quarterback room, especially if the Vikings win a few games. Cause it's like, hey, are we rolling with the third year or in JJ, or are we going to roll with this veteran? It's crazy to call Kyler Murray a veteran, but
I know it is weird.
This guy, who's done it before, who's been the face of a franchise for years. So the Vikings, I think, they're going to have to make some moves to be able to compete in this division.
For sure. I think they were really sneaky good last year. It could be really a tale of how bad McCarthy was, to be honest, because their defense was still sick last year. They were in games with, McCarthy and whoever the backup was. I'm forgetting. Like, that team is
Max
Bromer.
Yeah,
Max Bromer from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yep. From the University of Minnesota, sorry. But I think this could work out really well. A rising tide lifts all ships, the classic saying. I think McCarthy and Kyler battling it out through the summer and early fall, like that's good for them, especially when you have a guy like Justin Jefferson. Like, he's such a good receiver. I bet within the first couple of weeks, he's going to go up to Kevin O'Connell and be like, yeah, Kyler or JJ is putting it right on the money. He's got to start. Because that's what it comes down to. But I think JJ could figure it out. He tore his meniscus in the preseason his first year. He figured himself out. And, it's tough to adjust, especially, and I'm not saying this as a Penn State fan, but when you come from an offense in Michigan where you're like play actioning the whole time and like your goal is to run the ball, like, he wasn't challenged too much as a passer. So we'll see. I am scared of the Vikings a little bit now, but dude, free agency is all over the place. So just want to also mention the Eagles signed Tariq Woolen, which I love. Now have the best cornerback duo in the league, and I don't think it's close. Like, Quinyon and Reek, like, are you kidding me? That's lockdown city. And then also the Eagles signed, bear with me, Arnold Edebuke.
Penn Stater.
Penn State and Temple guy, right?
And Temple. He's Temple, and then transferred to Penn State. Yep.
Big time Philly guy. So I like that. He's not the flashy signing, but
he's 8 sacks over the past 2 years.
He's very interesting. Yeah.
And we need the depth.
We really do. And I also want to bring up to you, there were some rumors this week about Josh Sweat reportedly requesting a trade. And apparently the Eagles and the Packers are the only two teams that are really interested, allegedly, which is, his former team and his former coach's team, John Gannon, who's the new DC for the Packers. So I would love Sweat back. Would you?
Oh, absolutely. Especially, again, like how thin we are which is crazy to say that we're thin there right now because we've been stacked there. But losing Jalen Phillips definitely didn't help. I think Brandon Graham's coming back, but I want him as a depth piece, not
he's a great depth piece and a great leader and a great veteran. But I also want to mention the Phillips deal. He got $80 million guaranteed from the Panthers, so good for him. And
we
in
were
the process,
never going to pay that.
No, but in the process, it got us a 3rd round compensatory pick for next year. So we'll take that all day.
Yeah, Howie's stacking up the compensatory picks. We got 4 of them on day 1 alone
for this year.
Agency. So I think that those moves could be used for some more moves coming up soon.
Howie sprinkled his magic on Landon Dickerson, restructured his contract, and assigned him to like a 2-year extension or something that's up after the 2028 season, I believe, which actually took a season away, which I think means he's on his way out, which good for him because he's so beaten and battered and he already won a Super Bowl. So no blame there. But looking to see what happens with AJ Brown and some more random NFL stuff leading up to the draft. We'll start to get into the draft a lot more. But Davis, it's college basketball season. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Our Tennessee Volunteers lost, unfortunately, but hey, plenty more games over the next 3 days.
Hey, shout out Tennessee yesterday for covering that spread. They were down almost 15 to Auburn, and they went on like a 15-0 run, came back and won it, and we didn't even win the bet, but that was still one of the more electric times I've had watching basketball. That was awesome.
Absolutely.
So,
I feel like at least myself, like I don't really get dialed into college basketball until the NFL is over. Yeah. Now that I feel like the past few days, all I've had on was college basketball. Last week I was watching some of these Missouri Valley tournaments, like the SWAC and the MEA or the MAC. For sure. But now that we're getting into the big boys, the power conferences, like even though it's round 1, round 2, and now we're starting to get into the quarterfinals of some of these tournaments. It's electric baskall, and just seeing some of these upsets happen. We haven't seen anything super crazy just yet.
No, go ahead.
I mean, are we going to call Villanova losing last night by 14 to a limited Georgetown
is team? That bad?
No, 100%.
They're that bad.
But was Villanova like Villanova wasn't favored to win? It's not like we're seeing Florida lose. Villanova's not
fine. The one thing I will point out, and this does sound like cope and whatever, but Kevin Willard did say that because of their limited practice time since Matt Hodge got hurt, they just were not organized at all on offense, and they didn't practice that much leading up to the game.
It looked like it too.
It did, and they were trailing most of this game. To be honest, it was really ugly. Like no-show performances from some of our best guys, Caden Lewis. I mean, just it was really upsetting, to be honest.
I hope Steve went to sleep and did not stay up to watch this game.
Me too, because he was on his way to Denver. I hope he was asleep on a plane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hope so, because that was a tough watch. Let me just get out of the way. I knew Nova wasn't going to be good. I knew they weren't going to win a national title. I didn't think they were going to win a Big East title. They're in the tournament already, regardless of that loss, which is nice, but like, losing to Georgetown like that, like in your first Big East tournament game, in a new age, in a new era of college basketball for Villanova, it's sad. It's really sad. There's still bright spots, but like I hate losing to Georgetown. They're not a good team. Ed Cooley bought his 2 extra years only on that win. They just looked terrible. They looked unorganized. It was sad. Sucks. I could go on about this forever, but I don't want to. Duke and Florida State. Duke was a hair away from us talking about a massively disappointing loss for them, but they pulled it out against Florida State. They only won by 1, and Florida State tried to take a step back 3 to win. People I saw were like, you got to do what you got to do, but like, I don't know why you don't take that to the rack, especially when you have an extra couple seconds to maybe like have the big man tip it in or something, like
get a foul. I mean, seriously, I completely agree.
It was ridiculous, and I know Duke's down Isaiah Evans and their big guy who I forget his name, but they're still an awesome team. Obviously, Cam Boozer's the dude, but his brother Caden Boozer's look great. Who's the other?
It was the first game that he really got serious minutes like almost all year. And he had a phenomenal game. I think did he have like 25 or something?
He did.
Like,
he did.
Just even watching him too, like he's just so explosive. Like he just is your perfect college guard. That obviously like he can translate that to the NBA, but where he's at right now, like fantastic.
He should stay an extra year. That the second Boozer. 100%.
Totally agree.
But in terms of like Duke, I know I just said that we were talking about them losing and it being disappointing, but I actually think it's a pretty positive sign for Duke to pull out a win like that, especially when you're down a couple of your starters, especially when you're, with a new team. I know that they'll probably have a couple extra guys, but like Duke turns over teams every single year. So like getting these guys into that spotlight and winning that game, I think is pretty good. We'll see what they do against Clemson tonight. That's a pretty big factor because Clemson is a talented team, but I think Duke could still make noise. We'll see what they got. But that was a fun game to watch. I will say Florida State fought their asses off.
It was asses off. I didn't really even watch a ton of the game, to be honest with you. And actually, it's not even Caden Boozer who I was thinking of. It's actually Isaiah, because I had to look it up because I wasn't positive.
Who's the guy that's hurt for Duke then? The guard. Because I just said Isaiah Evans was out.
Foster.
Yeah, it is Caleb Foster.
Is it Caleb Foster? Okay,
yes.
Okay.
So it's Caleb Foster that's out. Isaiah Evans had a nice game last night.
Yes, he had 32.
Yes, he's awesome. And we'll see what Duke's got. I think the ACC tournament down the stretch will be fun, but it sucks that tournament isn't as good as it used to be. The ACC tournament used to be the basketball tournament. So kind of disappointing. But let's talk about another team that is massively disappointing. Miami of Ohio lost in their first game of the MAC tournament. Me, you, and Jacob last week were sitting here talking about a Miami of Ohio Akron final, and Miami of Ohio didn't even win a conference tournament game. They lost in overtime. It was close. It was close. It was very close. So
87-83.
It's not going to hurt them too much, but I think they should get in. I think if the NCAA is smart, they'll put them in the first four in Dayton and make people watch that game. But I think they should be in regardless, right?
Lenardi actually has them as a solo 11 seed right now, not in the play-in.
Really?
I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if some other team comes in and steals a bid possibly. But I agree. I think that they completely deserve to be in, even though this is a quad 4 loss against Massachusetts, which you never like to see. But
especially not before the tournament. Yeah.
When you're 31-1. Like you got to go to the tournament.
If you're undefeated in the regular season, like we talked about last week, you should be in. Like
for sure,
especially when the bubble is this bad. Like every single bubble team has lost. Cincinnati lost. I mean, Indiana lost. Auburn. I know Seton Hall next 4 out. They can maybe move up, but Auburn lost. Like it has been a rough bubble season. Honestly, I would be a lot more worried about Villanova every other tournament year, but it's so bad this year. They're going to make it as an 8-9.
Yeah, agreed.
Talk about this forever, but yeah. Big
we'll have a lot more on Sunday.
Make sure you guys tune into our live bracket special, probably around 7 Eastern time on Sunday night. We'll have Jacob here, maybe Style make an appearance for a little college basketball expert.
We might get some more people on. We can see who's around.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have some more. But Davis, let's talk about a historic night in basketball, and not college at all.
Yeah, Cameron Payne dropped 32 and 10. On March 10th, mark it down.
9 of 10 shooting, 8 for 8 from 3. Come on,
dude. Seriously, third most true shooting efficient game of all time. I mean, come on. What do we? I mean, this is a story of the night, right? Right? Was this
all people were talking about? That was all people were talking about. Unfortunately, that's not true. We're just kidding around because Bam Adebayo, Davis. I don't even want to joke about it, so I'm sorry to like kill the vibe, but we have to talk about this in a very serious manner. This guy broke. I don't want to say broke Kobe's record because he was second, but he basically broke Kobe's record. He scored 83 points in a game, and I want to give him credit. He scored 41 in the first half, and that was not all free throws because that's what we're going to talk about. This man shot 46 free throws. That's an NBA record for most free throws in a game. Most free throws made, most free throws unattempted. I mean, crazy stuff. He deserves credit for it. He scored 83. It's awesome. It's cool. But if you watched the last 5 minutes of that game, it was disgusting, kind of disrespectful. I don't want to say disrespectful. No, I'm going to say
it was disrespectful for the league. The league
and to Kobe,
absolutely disrespected, 100%.
Yes. And like, I'm not the biggest Kobe guy ever, so I don't want to like die on this hill. I don't really care too much, but like, I turned it on when I saw that he had 70, and I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. I was figuring he was going to be in the low block. Someone's going to pass it to him, and he was just going to, turn around, put it up because, he's a forward. This man was getting the ball at the top of the key with 2 defenders on him and running into the lane and just throwing up a hook shot and like leaning in his defender and getting a foul call. It was some of the worst basketball display I've ever seen. And then his teammates are intentionally fouling to get him the more time, to get him the ball. There was a clip of like 2 guys on him on an inbound and his teammate being like, "Bam, go, go, go." And he just like throws it up to him like a lob pass to a wide receiver. Like, it was like, good for Bam. I really don't want to hate on it too much, but like,
no, that's
I was kind of sad after this. Like, this is our second leading scorer in NBA history because I don't think anyone's going to break ever Wilt's record still. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to break 100, but I'm going to tell you right now that I think this was one of the most disappointing games of all time. Yeah. I completely agree. The disrespect that this league, and I mean, everyone's talking about is, wow, Bam scored 83. And then the second thing they're talking about is what a freaking joke this league is in the beginning of March with playoffs coming up real soon. And you have a Bam Adebayo who went 7 for 22 from 3, 36 for 43 from the line.
7 for 22 from 3 is disgusting.
So I heard a stat. This is a good stat I heard this week. So he had a combined, 65 3-pointers and free throws combined. That is the NBA record. And next best is James Harden. And it's like 46.
What?
It's not even close, Ethan. This was very disappointing to me. And honestly, I haven't turned on an NBA basketball game in a while. And I did watch the end of that game. And it just made me realize, you know what? I'd much rather watch Belmont play Drake in the quarterfinals of their turn. Like, to be completely honest.
I don't blame you. I was actually watching the Celtics Spurs game at the time, and then I turned it off and turned on the Heat game. The Celtics Spurs game are great. The Spurs are really fun to watch right now.
The Spurs are fun.
I have been watching a little bit of NBA the last couple weeks, but like there's just times where like it's not the same as college basketball. You turn on college basketball right now, and you're like, I just want to sink my teeth into a basketball game. Like, I don't care if it's pro or college. You have to go college 10 times out of 10, Davis. Like, NBA is not fun. And let me just do a spiel real quick on the Sixers. I've been meaning to do this. Absolutely need to fire Daryl Morey. He is the worst general manager. I mean, Jerry McCain trade, whatever. But, like, they have Maxey out and Embiid out and Paul George out. That is like $115 million of their salary. That's like the highest in NBA history to have like that much money sitting out for a somewhat period of time. I don't know. So forgive me. But like, just the Sixers went from like 3 weeks ago being like, they could make a run, like maybe a month ago, whatever. They can make a run. They have in pieces. If Embiid's healthy, Paul George has come back at a good time. Maxey's playing his ass off. And Maxey's playing the most minutes in the league, and we just didn't think he was going to get hurt. Like, what are we doing? And like VJ got hurt for a little bit too. This offense is putrid, so bad. Like, good for Campaign, but Campaign should not be on our team. This team should be competing. And the fact that I'm watching like the Charlotte Hornets play well, the Heat are playing well, the Orlando Magic are playing well, it's because they have a team. And like, you can say what you want about Daryl Morey, fine. Nick Nurse is a terrible coach too. Just watching McCain go play late minutes for the Thunder and like having plays drawn for him where he's butt naked in the corner, top of the key, hitting these threes. These were not drawn up for him at all. Nick Nurse is a straight isolation coach. He just says, give it to Maxey, give it to VJ, and get the hell out of the way. That's the way he coaches. And he lucked into a championship with the Raptors and Kawhi because Kawhi was at that time the greatest player of all time. Debate a wall, he was. Like, the Sixers are disgusting. Like, I was so excited. We had a future. I actually cashed out of it today. I was so angry. I forgot I had it. I cashed out of it. Like, they are horrible. They're horrible to watch. There's nothing exciting about this team. And then if you're really going to go down to it, the decisions over time are disgusting. Trading Mikal Bridges for Zaire Smith, who died of a peanut allergy, horrible.
Sesame.
Whatever, Davis. Sucks. Markelle Fultz, horrible. He just got signed by the Raptors G League team. That tells you where he's at. Ben Simmons is a fisherman now. This is one of the worst mixed managements of a team in the last 10 years, and the Sacramento Kings are in the same damn league. This is horrible. I was so excited to watch Sixers basketball a month ago, and now every time I see a notification on my phone, I want to throw it across the room. Like, so annoying. If you have any comments, go ahead.
I agree with you, and you know better than anybody my Sixers spiel. From this time last year, I could not stand the 76ers, and I could not watch them. I didn't even know who Gerson Yubasale or whatever his name was in like April.
Yeah.
And we were watching a game, and I was like, "Who is that guy?" You were like, "You don't know who that is? He's been playing for the last like 40 games." I was like, "I don't know." And then I started this year fresh. I said, "I'm going to forget about Embiid." I've said for the last few years, I will not watch the Sixers with Embiid on this team. And I started fresh this year, and it was a lot of fun until like Valentine's Day, when the Sixers started really sucking and Paul George got suspended. And now the Sixers are possibly fighting for a play-in spot.
Oh, they're in the 9th spot right now.
No, fighting for a play-in spot at this point.
I don't want them to make the play-in. If the Sixers have any sort of smart franchise left in their brains, you do not let Maxey play another game. You don't let VJ play another game. You pull Grimes. You pull freaking Barlow.
This is Campaign's team.
No, I want Marlon Beauchamp scoring every night for us. I want whoever pull like one of these college guys that's done playing today into the Sixers. They should be tanking for a chance at a top 10 pick. This draft this year is loaded. We went on 2 weeks ago and just said every guy was good. We need to do more in depth in June. But like this draft class is ridiculous. If the Sixers can get the 10th pick, they'll be happy. So I don't know. I'm done. I'm talking too much about the Sixers. We spent way too much time on it.
That's fine. I agree. You had to get it out. And let's be honest. It's a Sixers problem, but also in my mind, it's an NBA problem. We can go into it way more. Maybe we can have a guest or two on here who likes the NBA, but I cannot stand the NBA. And I am about this close to becoming a Spurs fan because I actually enjoy watching Victor Wembanyama play.
Oh, he's
and
so fun.
Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell is a corner specialist.
I agree. Watching Wemby play is ridiculous. Where like he'll get the ball like 2 feet away from the rim, and you're like, oh, he has to take an extra step. Nope, just leans over and puts it in. You're like, oh, okay. Or he'll turn around 360 degrees and make a block that you've never seen before. Like we're talking bad about the NBA, but if you can watch a Spurs game on national TV, do it. It's highly worth the time. Let's get into something worthwhile, Davis.
Another disappointing time for a few days this week. The World Baseball Classic.
It's not over.
It's not. No. But it was very. I
think the disappointing time is still here because they could lose to Canada tonight, and this would be the biggest disappointment in American sports history.
Someone said that last week and had an Instagram clip get almost 3,000 views on it.
that guy did.
I'm okay. I was really stressing out this week.
You said last week that if we lost, it would be the biggest disappointment in American sports history.
If we lost the whole thing.
Like, you did.
We need to win this whole thing.
But what was your reaction to losing to Italy? Instant reaction.
Okay, so I had two reactions. My first reaction is it's a baseball game, and this is why I love baseball, and baseball is my favorite sport. Anybody can win on any given day. You never know when the bats are going to go hot, when the bat's going to get cold. You never know when your manager doesn't know the tie-breaking rules and whether you're going to get into the quarterfinals. That's fine. Whatever. Don't worry.
Dude, that quote was insane. He thought we were in. He legitimately thought we were in. And there's a moment. Yes. The players knew. Let's not downgrade the players. They knew. But there was a moment during that game where he was like, oh, shit. Clayton Kershaw, Mason Miller, get up. I forgot.
Yep. That game reminded me very much so. And I'm a believer. I like the guy. But it reminded me of Rob Thompson's playoff pitching decisions and lineup decisions sometimes over the past few years where it's just utterly confusing sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. You can't take Aaron Judge out of the 3-hole. You can't take Kyle Schwarber out of the 4-hole. But
you cannot have PCA hitting top 3.
100%. When you have Roman Anthony, who's maybe the best hitter on this team right now over the past few games, batting 7th or 8th, I don't know. Maybe try pulling him up and taking Bobby Witt's spot for a day at the leadoff spot.
Maybe win.
I know. So we got Canada tonight. This would be the funniest thing in history if we beat them in hockey and they beat us in baseball.
When I said this would be the biggest disappointment, I wasn't talking about us losing the World Baseball Classic. I was talking about us losing to Canada tonight.
Yes.
If we I'm actually wearing the shirt right now. USA Gold because we won men's and women's, not the flex, but we did our victory lap. Not just us two, but all of America did it, being like, we beat you at your sport. And I heard people on podcasts being like, this can't even happen to them. They can't do this to us. Yeah, they can. They can do this in baseball. Like, we can talk about Japan and all these other, Hispanic countries that love baseball, but it's an American sport. This has been our thing forever, for the last 120 years. If Canada, who's on the Canadian baseball team, but besides Josh Naylor? That's all the players I know.
Well, Bo Naylor. They have a few decent pitchers, and I actually don't know who's going tonight. But when I say decent pitchers, they're like in the 4 spot of their rotation.
They had a nice win over somebody. I forget, but I think it's Venezuela. Maybe I forget who they beat. But Canada is frisky, but the USA should beat them 10 times out of 10, right?
100%. I think we're like 3.5 run favorites today.
That's it.
Yeah, it's not great. But
Well, hey, if we win this game and face the Dominican next round, which, by the way, be the most electric game of all time, in Miami, Paul Skeens is pitching, so I do feel good about that. But
man. You know who's on this Canada team? So I just pulled up their roster.
Who?
So they have James Paxton, Jameson Italian, Cal Quantrill. They're all MLB guys. You know who they have? Felipe Almond. You know who that is? He was the Phillies. He's a Phillies prospect from like 15 years ago. He was one of the best prospects of the MLB, and he flamed out.
Also, shout out to Phillies prospect Dante Nori for playing his ass off too.
Yeah, seriously. They've got Bo Naylor behind the plate. They have Otto Lopez. He's on the Marlins. Josh Naylor and Abraham Toro. He does.
They've got a bunch of like
the infield.
I'm not saying this in a bad way. They got a lot of mid players, right?
Yep. They got Tyler O'Neill, and by the way, their hitting coach is Justin Moreau.
Oh, okay.
First base coach is Russell Martin.
Oh my God, who's who of the 2010s MLB?
Oh, and lastly, come on, how could I forget this guy? Michael Soroka is a part of Canada's. I think he started a game or two already this year. I'm sorry, he started a game or two so far in this classic. But let's see really quickly who the starting pitcher is for. You got to be kidding me. It's Michael Soroka. Oh. We're playing Michael Soroka tonight.
Who's starting for us tonight?
Logan Webb, yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right, Davis. So, I mean, this is setting up for an excellent, excellent run because all of these teams are pretty stout. Like, I do want to take a time to talk about Dominican Republic. I mean, they are the most electric thing I've ever watched. Just, they have the best celebrations. Like, I know they're pimping home runs, but Tatis isn't, like, when he hit that home run, he hit the lunge. Like, that was cool. Like, these guys have aura, for lack of a better term. Yep. And the crowd is insane in Miami. I can't wait, or I hope we get to Miami because that crowd is going to be off the charts.
For sure.
And then, are you a fan of Dominicans going crazy on bat flips and all that stuff? I assume you are.
1,000%. So for how many times I've been down there, I've actually never been to a baseball game in Puerto Rico.
Really?
But what I've heard is that any given regular season game it's NFL Sunday for them. Like they're tailgating at 7 a.m. for a baseball game.
That's electric.
I should move there. That is my.
You do have family there. You do have family there. You could.
I know. Yeah, I can speak. Hola. Cerveza. Por favor. No, this Dominican team's awesome. And I will say, for the Americans, obviously this year, they really tried to go hard. Judge committed to playing on the team. Mm-hmm. They want to win this gold.
Witt, all those guys, yeah.
But for these guys, it's about winning a World Series. For most of these international, especially Hispanic countries, this is it. Like
I saw Vladdy say he cares more about this than the World Series, and he was just in the World Series last.
No, I think every single Hispanic team in this field believes. Like I would say almost every team in this field except America feels that way.
Yeah, I would totally agree. And I'm sure there's some Americans on there that feel that way. Like, shout out Bryce Harper, but I'm sure he feels that way because he's not cared about winning World Series recently. Anyway, Davis, give me your semifinals and finals with a champion pick.
Oh, boy. Yeah. So I'm going to have to pick America to win tonight against our friends up north. And then, I'm going to go with the Dominican over South Korea. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I think that semi matchup, the Dominican Republic against the United States, is going to be an electric one, where Paul Skeens, I believe, takes the bum in that game. Mm-hmm. And then we've got Italy against
I almost said Mexico. It's Puerto Rico.
It's Puerto Rico, yeah. And then Venezuela. Can I talk about Venezuela?
Go ahead. Yeah, we talked about last week.
That was my sleeper pick. Obviously, they don't get a great draw in playing Japan.
No.
And I'm gonna rescind that, and I'm gonna say Japan wins this game. Sorry, Venezuela. If you matched up against almost anyone else except America, the Dominican Republic, or Japan, I might have had you in the championship. But you got Japan winning this game.
And is there a chance?
100%. I think there is a chance. I think this Venezuela team is legit.
They got some guys.
I should have put it in my slip, if you know what I'm saying, before this all started. But I'm gonna take the hot hand in Italy. I don't think they went undefeated in pool play. They had some phenomenal wins, and thank God for Aaron Nola, because if that didn't happen,
hey, it's an even year Nola, man. Come on.
Yes, this is true. I'm gonna take Italy to win that game, and I'm going to go with a finals matchup of the United States against
Japan.
Yes.
Although USA, Italy in the final would be pretty sweet.
Would be pretty awesome.
That'd be pretty sweet. Japan, especially after Italy's been talking that crap. Come on.
Yes. Japan, roster-wise, up and down.
Yeah, no,
absolutely compete with this team.
Yeah. There's guys in Japan that you won't hear about for 3 more years that are 10 times better than every player in Italy.
Now, if you wanted to take a look at some bets,
some juicy odds.
I need to look it up what it is exactly, and I'm going to do that right now. But I'm pretty
responsibly
sure,
though. Responsibly.
Yeah, very responsibly, of course. I'm pretty sure Japan is like plus 450 maybe to win the whole thing.
Wow.
I think that would plus 380, so down to like 380. They would probably be my bet right now, just because if you're going to get them into the championship, they're actually slight favorites today against Venezuela, or tomorrow.
That's it.
Actually surprised they're minus 188, which I'm surprised it's only that low. But if you can get them going into a championship game at plus 380 odds in your pocket, you can definitely monetize that.
100%. I'm really excited to watch tonight. I was more locked in than I've ever been onto a World Baseball Classic this year, but I wasn't watching the USA Italy game. I think that was the night Bam had his 83, and and Celtics were playing the Spurs. So I was watching that, and I got into bed and I was like, oh my God, Italy's about to beat us. Oh my God. So now since then I've been so locked in. I can't wait for tonight. It's gonna be really fun.
Baseball's back. Tis the season.
Yeah, 100%. And then opening day is 2 weeks away.
Yes.
It's 2 weeks away. So baseball is perfect. I did see something though, Davis, that if we could do the World Baseball Classic in the summer or Olympics, whatever they want to do, and do right before the Derby or right after the Derby, then it leads right into, that World Baseball Classic final weekend. That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I just think, unfortunately, with the way that pitchers work on their schedules these days, I don't think that's going to work. I think it's actually kind of perfect where it is right now. But you have guys like Tarek Skubal, who obviously he is now not playing mostly because of the contract, but they publicly admitted that it's also because of his schedule. Because if he were to pitch in the
championship opening day, right?
Yes, because he would only have 4 days of rest. So he needs 5. These pitchers are very time.
They have this down to a science at this point, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I think having it preseason is the best way to go.
All right, Davis. All right.
Well, let's keep topic. Let's stay on topic.
I was going to transition it first, but go ahead.
The American League. We talked about previewing something. I may have hinted at something last week about the Baltimore Orioles. This is my American League predictions for this coming year for some divisions, Cy Young and MVP.
I was like, why am I looking at a picture of a tiger in a boat? Oh,
yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes,
okay, go ahead. Take it away.
Baltimore Orioles, man, they made a lot of great moves over the offseason, and some great moves as in also keeping and developing maybe up-and-coming top 10 player in the league in Gunnar Henderson and a top 5 possible catcher in Natalie Rushman. And they brought in Pete Alonso. And they also brought in very low-key. They brought in Taylor Ward, who is actually very good corner.
He's been hitting on the Angels.
Yes, absolutely. And they traded away Grayson Rodriguez, who
they did.
He was a great prospect, but he's been
where'd he go?
The Angels. It was a 1-for-1 swap, pretty much.
That's it.
Rodriguez for Ward. Yeah.
Wasn't he the best pitcher in baseball? The best pitching prospect? I mean,
yeah, 3 years
What happened?
Ago.
Bad year?
Injuries, crazy injuries. He cannot stay healthy.
Sounds like he'll be perfect on the Angels.
Yes, he will be absolutely perfect on a 74 and
I think that's generous.
88 Angels team.
Yeah.
This is probably my hottest take. I think the Orioles are going to win the AL East, and they're like plus 450.
Boston's good this year. New York's good this year. Toronto is just in the World Series. I'd say that's pretty hot take, man.
But I will say, I think that their lineup now up and down, at least to the 7th spot, is pretty awesome. And especially having Pete Alonso, the rotation's great. I mean, the rotation's really good. But I think this team wins by hitting, to be honest with you, this year. They brought in the left field wall just for Pete Alonso. They brought it out a few years ago.
The Royals did that too for Vinny, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And don't forget about Jack Caglione over there in Kansas City.
He is really good.
Yes, he is.
He's really
he is very good.
But AL Central not as heavy though, right?
No, I have the Tigers winning this division. It's really close. It's really close between them and the Royals.
The Royals are gonna be good, do you think? Finally?
Yeah, the Royals were good last year. They just missed out on a playoff spot.
They did. That's right. Yeah.
And obviously the Guardians had
the biggest comeback in baseball history.
I was going to say arguably the biggest comeback in division baseball history by being down like 16 games early in August and then come back and win the division.
Yeah.
But I will say, whether Tarek Skubal stays or not, I think my guess is that he will stay because I just don't think they're going to be able to trade somebody like that, to be honest.
You can't.
Like you would just ruin the fan base.
This would be worse than the Mookie trade, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I still think the Tigers get it done, whether he gets moved on or not. I think the Framber Valdez signing was really good. And this team can hit.
And Verlander.
They brought in Verlander as like a 5th starter, yep. Or even just a
bullpen,
like a Taiwan Walker type guy.
Disrespectful to Justin Verlander.
Kinda, yeah. But I've got the Tigers. And then on the West, this is my coldest take. I'll take Seattle Mariners.
Why is this cold?
Because they're like minus 105, and I know you don't like minus numbers, so they're favored to win. They're the biggest favorite.
The Astros are still going to be good, right? Texas Rangers will still be good.
No.
Whoa.
I mean, the Astros might be good, but I don't think they're going to be good.
No.
At some point, I'll have to do my who I think is going to make the playoffs. I think the Rangers are definitely going to be their scariest competition, the Mariners' scariest competition. My hot take here, I think the Astros are going to finish 4th in the division behind the A's.
The A's could be sneaky this year.
The A's are good.
They got a lot of young guys.
And
I'm not going to say the first baseman's name, but he's really good.
They finally brought in some free agents. Obviously, Nick Kurtz is just an amazing hitter.
Ballsy.
He hit 30 home runs last year.
Yeah.
It's like the second half of the year. He had a game with
Jacob Wilson, right?
Jacob Wilson. Yep. He literally struck out 20 times and walked 22 times last year. Insane. Something crazy. But that's my hot take. I think the order of this division goes Mariners, Rangers, A's, Astros.
Wow. That is a pretty hot take. That is a really hot take. And then let me ask you one thing about the AL Central. Is the White Sox going to be the worst team in baseball again, or?
No, the Rockies. But on the American League side, I'd probably say no. You're probably going to call me an idiot, but I actually have their over and win total this year.
Yeah, you're an idiot, dude.
What do you think it is?
I almost went really low. I'm going to say 45.5.
No. That's not the Rockies. The Rockies are like 54.5, and that's the lowest ever. Really? Literally ever. Yes.
Yeah, I don't do baseball totals. Okay. All right.
That's okay. Makes sense. The White Sox are like 62-ish and a half.
Okay.
So basically I need them to go 63 and 99. And they actually ended the year pretty well last year. They actually started kind of getting things along, and they got in that Japanese guy.
That's right.
Who I think is yes. Who I think is probably going to win Rookie of the Year. He's like 6-1 right now.
He was the dude that went nuts in the last World Baseball Classic, right?
Yes, and this guy hits just absolute tanks.
Okay. Why the White Sox?
That's a great question.
Okay.
No idea. Everyone thought he was going to the Dodgers. I actually wanted him for the Phillies, but everyone thought he was going to the Dodgers. But my correlated play here, I think the Orioles are kind of in contention to have the most wins in the American League here. And
really?
I think
what is that total?
Alonso, I don't know. I don't even know if that's like a prop, to be honest. Like just in the
what's their win total?
Oh, their win total? 86, 5.5 ish. Yeah, it's not very high. The Yankees are favored to win the Yankees are favored to win the American League this year, and the Mariners are right behind them. I don't know. It beats me.
Who did they get? Cody Bellinger?
I don't know. Blue
Jays just went to the World Series.
Aaron Boone's still their coach, and I cannot do that. I hate Aaron Boone.
He's terrible.
I'm gonna take Pete Alonso to win MVP. Actually,
I thought you just had what?
Yeah, but a correlated play with the Orioles are gonna have the most wins in the American League, and Pete Alonso is gonna hit 40 home runs and 125 RBIs, with Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman ahead of him on base. Do you know the Orioles left those two guys on base more than like anybody else in the league last year? And now they brought in Pete Alonso to bring them in. I think
this Orioles fans are going to be
this Orioles 100%. They should be. My Cy Young pick. Do you even know who that is?
Let me guess. Logan Gilbert.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm surprised you know who that is.
What?
I don't know. He's just like he's probably he could be like the third best pitcher on the Mariners, but there's rumors that he found a slider. The slider was hiding for a while, and he might have found a slider. And when he has a slider, he's arguably the best pitcher in the league. So, yeah.
I know who he is. I didn't know he was that good, though. All right.
He's good.
Okay. All right. So before we get out of here, the fifth major, Davis, the fifth major this weekend, the Players' Championship is happening right now. Just glanced over at my phone to double check. Xander Schauffele just went absolutely nuclear today. I mean, the dude was 7 under, and he's now leading. I'm sorry. He's not leading anymore. Yeah. Ludwig Aberg just took the lead. Not just, but whatever. He's 12 under with the lead. Schauffele behind him at 10. And then Cam Young at 9. Justin Thomas at 8. Look at JT getting involved. And then my guy who I picked this weekend, Davis, Maverick McNeely, not having a great Friday. And a little behind at 6 under. But I like him. I still like him to win. I don't know.
Yeah, I looked into him today a little bit. Just I was curious to see. But I have Cam Young on my card.
Do you?
Yes, I have him at like 65-1. So it's just another sweaty week,
bro. You find the most obscure golfers to pick this week. What was Schauffele or Aberg before today or yesterday?
Schauffele was probably like 16-1. Aberg was probably like 25-30.
Wow. Okay. So
Aubert,
what do you think about this weekend?
Aubert.
I know.
Aubert. This weekend, this tournament's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't like the guy who hits the ball the farthest, the guy who makes all the putts, the guy who has the best irons. Like anybody can win this tournament, and there's no correlation year to year. I don't think Xander's going to be able to get it done.
Why not?
His putting has just been so good that I don't think it's consistently going to be able to do it. He made a few bombs. He made a few bombs today. He did. Like bombs. I don't think he's going to be able to hold that through. Obviously, it's tough to say. It's like Aubert, it looks like he's sitting at like plus 155. He'd probably have to be my pick. Shooting 9 under today. He looked great last week. He was in contention. I don't know. I think he's back. And obviously Cam Young's still sitting there too. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to be biased, but like, I've got Cam Young. And
you do have Cam Young.
Cam Young's a great player. His ball striking is phenomenal.
What do you think about JT though? I'm a big JT guy. I've always been a big fan of JT. Like, he's so talented. He's just seems like the ultimate head case.
Yeah, last week he went 79-79, finished dead last. And this week,
really?
At the Arnold Palmer? Yeah, last week he started 79-79, finished dead last.
Holy
this week,
crap.
68-68. He's on a 22-stroke swing over the first 2 days of the last two tournaments.
That's ridiculous.
I like JT, but I think he's still coming over that back problem, that back surgery he had in November. I think it's an interesting number to look at. I don't see him going nuclear one of these days.
Fair. Like, I mean, he has it in him. Never forget that PGA Tour final round. Never forget, or PGA Championship. I'm sorry.
He absolutely has it in him. And then we've got Sepp Straka, Russell Henley right behind. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be one of these top guys, like one of these top 5 probably.
Yeah.
When it comes down to things. Again, it's easy to say that now. But Aubert, I think, would have to be my pick at this point, after the Friday round.
I agree. And I don't want to disregard what happened last weekend, actually. Batia won the Arnold Palmer. He has been pretty hot recently. He's been playing excellent golf. About time he won a tournament, especially a pretty signature event in the Arnold Palmer. But just transitioning that, you could talk about Batia too, but into, early Masters vibes still. Not so early, actually, but what are you thinking after another week of watching some golf, watching Batia win?
Yeah, I like Batia. Like, so this was his third win, first signature event win. One in a playoff against Daniel Berger. Daniel Berger played way too conservatively on the back 9 to cause a playoff. But Batia in the Masters, I mean, you know me, I'm a lefty guy. I'm a lefty guy when it comes to Augusta. I think Batia is definitely going to be on my card. And another guy who's going to be on my card, definitely Aubert. I mean, he was in it, 2 years ago?
He's so due, man. He's so due for a major.
He was in it like 2 years ago and then went in the water on 12. So I don't know.
Something about that 12 hole at the Masters, dude.
Yeah.
Something about
why Tiger won. Everybody went in the water in 2019. So I think it's a little too early for me to tell, like, you know, and I obviously no one's really talking about it yet. So I don't really have a gauge on who people are liking, but I think Batia is definitely a long shot that you could probably look into. I wouldn't be shocked.
Why would he be a long shot?
3-1. He's not in that top echelon yet. You know, he's still in that B- tier, B tier of players. I'd probably like, you still got, let's not even forget, like, not even on the top screen of this players leaderboard, you're still not seeing Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood. I mean, you're still missing probably 10 of the top 20 golfers in the world that Batia is going to be behind. Victor Hovland is still there too. Matt Fitzpatrick.
I said a quick scroll. McIlroy is 1 over along with Scheffler.
Yes, McIlroy actually made a great birdie on 9. It was his 18th hole to be able to make the cut, which is pretty awesome.
Jeez.
But the volatility right now between McIlroy and Scheffler is not pretty. It makes golf fun though. Like,
yeah. Let me follow up on our conversation last week real quick about Scheffler though. You were saying that you were pretty worried about, his Thursday, Friday performances heading into the Masters, and it's kind of doing it again. Any change in how you're feeling about him?
No, I think he's fine. This week has actually been probably the most worrisome because his driver, I mean, he might as well put the driver in the bag. Like, it's been so bad this week. And he's really saving himself with his recovery shots. I mean, he's missing everything right. It looks like me. It looks like me out there at Turtle Creek any given day. So he'll be fine. He'll pick it up and figure it out. But, these guys, some of the greatest golfers of all time, they know when they need to start playing well. And it's going to be in about 2 weeks when they're really prepping for the Masters.
Yeah, I can't wait as we get closer to the Masters. It is truly, truly a special time of year. Make sure you're watching the Players this weekend. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow and Sunday, and all-time sports weekend this weekend, next weekend coming up. Just so much to watch right now. I cannot wait for college basketball. And again, reminder, if you're still watching, we are going to be doing a bracket breakdown show on Sunday night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock-ish. We'll put out a time on the Instagram. So make sure you follow the Instagram below, all that good stuff. Any more thoughts before we get out of here, Davis?
I don't think so.
Perfect.
Quick turnaround on Sunday.
Yeah, make sure that you're tuning in. I know that no one's doing anything on Sunday night. You're gonna have your bracket in your hand. Make sure you don't fill that thing out until the bocce boys get to you. All right. Yep. It's just one thing we ask. It's the only thing we ask.
Villanova first round exit.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing I'm going to fill in. I'm not even being hyperbolic. It depends on their matchup, but I think they're going to be an 8-9 and probably lose to whoever that is. So can't wait. Yep, can't wait. Alas, we say goodbye till Sunday. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Go to the YouTube. Watch our shorts. Watch our shorter videos too. Our abbreviated, condensed versions of certain topics. All that good stuff. Go to the Instagram. Go to the Reels. All that good stuff too. See you later. Peace.